Well, this is, I guess, the third edition of Anime LOL between myself, Tom Clift of Plus Trailers, and Brett Woolgar of 42 Review.
Yep.
And you can find the links to those sites in the posts that you are no doubt reading.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for our last two editions of this feature, we looked at the films of Studio Ghibli. This time, what we've done is instead tackle a series, a television series. And that series is called Haibane Renmei. It follows this. It follows a group of beings called Haibane, who are essentially humans, but they look like angels. They have wings and halos. And they live within this town, this walled city called Glee. And it essentially follows their lives there as this newly-hatched Haibane, as she emerges from a cocoon named Raka, sort of enters the world of the Haibane, and she lives in a sort of
abandoned school or
called Old Home,
like
with a group of other Haibane. And the series kind of begins essentially just in the day-to-day life,
a slice of life
of these characters, and I'll get you to explain what slice of life is in a sec. And then about halfway through, it sort of takes on more
a more plot-driven,
a more
drama,
ongoing sort of plot development as these characters sort of. It's almost like they're attaining some kind of level of. They're going on to the next level.
I have a theory, and I'll go through that later. But
it's quite a strange series. It begins, as I said, very slowly, and it's not really. Personally, the first 4 episodes, I was kind of like wasn't really enjoying it because it's just very. It nothing really happens. But as the series progresses, however, we get these ongoing plot threads, and we become more developed, more interested in the characters. And certainly by episodes 7, 8, 9, and there are 13 episodes in this series.
Yep, 13.
I was really enjoying the series, and by the end, I thought it was really strong. We literally just finished watching 5 hours worth, all 13 episodes
in a row.
I'm not sure if I would recommend doing that. It's a little it's a little rough.
Oh, normally when I watch it, I'll watch it over 2 weeks.
I'd break it up. But I certainly think the series is worth watching. So
yeah, definitely.
We'll talk about music and animation in a minute, but can you actually explain sort of the concepts of slice of life?
Okay, well, slice of life, essentially nothing happens. There is no driving plot behind what's happening. It's just normally it will be a school-based kind of thing, so it'll be a group of 4 or 5 people, all in a school, probably the same class or something, and it will just go through their daily lives. Like, stuff will happen, like, they'll be talking in class about things, they'll occasionally go around to each other's houses, go to the movies or something, and you see, like, their reactions to things.
So it's kind of like drama, or a comedy, or anything.
Normally there's comedic elements, there's some drama, sometimes love, it depends. I mean, it's just following people doing normal life things.
See, I've always thought of it as almost being kind of like the anime version of like a soap. Not quite as over the top.
It's almost a reality TV. Like, it's almost something like Big Brother to some extent.
So it attempts to be true to life.
Most of the time, like.
And that's what's so strange about this. Admittedly, I haven't watched a lot of Slice of Life, or any, to be exact. But this is like that, especially in the early episodes, and even as the story goes. There's a lot of stuff where it's just them day-to-day life.
Interacting with each other.
Only there are these kind of mythical elements as well. Yeah. I mean, they have, it's set in kind of a modern world. They have cars and
they have electricity and technology motors and that.
But, there's also these creatures with wings, and they're accepted in society by the humans as just different members of society. In terms of, like, production, I thought the animation looked good.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's fine. Series that generally have worse animation.
Yeah, it wasn't quite as...
It's not as good as the Ghibli stuff.
You can tell it was done for cheap, but there's a bit of kind of... I just did a motion, but you can't see that.
There's it's frame skipping, essentially, just because it's harder to get the in-betweens for, 5 hours of work.
Exactly.
Rather than
So, like, when a character runs.
Yeah, it's not always as
good. It doesn't take you out of it.
They did use 3D.
Yeah.
Computer stuff. Some of it was a bit obvious, but most of it was pretty good.
We watched it in Japanese.
In Japanese,
You have watched it in English, I take it?
I've seen it in English, I think, twice. I'll just be clear, this will be my 7th time I've seen this. It is probably my favourite anime ever.
Hence why we're watching it.
I would say the Japanese is better. I haven't seen the English in a while, so I can't actually be sure, but I'd probably watch it in Japanese. it's truer to it. So
fair enough. Can I ask? Oh, in a minute we're going to talk about the music because I know you have a lot to say. But I just want to ask. We chose this as kind of the next step in my anime education. This was obviously your decision because I would have no idea what it was.
Clearly.
Now, you picked this because it's your favourite series.
I picked this because it's my favourite.
Where do you think this falls in terms of anime in general?
Well, I mean, to my knowledge, it's not one of the more well-known ones. Like, I haven't come across that many people. I've come, some, when I talk about it on a forum or something, I'll get maybe a quarter of the people in the thread or something. So this is
within the anime community?
It is within the anime community, but it's not that well known. It's not say, like, Death Note or Neon Genesis Evangelion. Not everyone knows about it.
So, I mean, even I'm a moderate sort of film and television fan, so I have some exposure to that, but I've heard of Death Note, I've heard of Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah. But I mean, like, those are like the everyone knows them kind of thing.
I've never heard of this, and I'd say most people listening to this probably haven't heard of it.
I mean, I only found it by going to the video store, finding the first DVD, watching it, going, hey, that's kind of cool, and then I just bought it. So, I mean, I didn't actually know what the whole series was like. I didn't find anything out about it online.
Okay.
I mean, what I've seen about it online is highly praised.
Yeah.
But it's still not much is found of it online, so it's not very well known.
Alright, okay, I'll let you gush some more. The music.
The music. I don't own all the soundtracks, but I have all the songs. I'm making the best attempt to buy them all. It's one of the best soundtracks ever.
I agree. I think it's excellent.
I gushed over Moon, by Clint Mansell.
Both Clint Mansell fans here, yeah.
This is better in my opinion. Like, this music, it's ridiculous how much I've listened to it. Really. Kawatani, I'm not quite sure how to say it.
He's the composer.
He's the composer, and he's done such a good job. Like, it suits the anime so well. Like,
but it's very varied.
Most of it has a very rustic feel. Like, the upbeat is more rustic. There's also he's done Shadow of the Colossus as well. That's right. I can't express how much I like it. Really.
I was really going on, like, I got reminded of a lot. For some reason, it's kind of sometimes it's got a kind of an operatic thing. I reminded at certain points of the Firefly score.
Fair enough.
At another point, I pointed out to you that there's a scene that used synthesizer that reminded me of the Blade Runner.
That's pretty much the only song that he's done.
Which isn't that's kind of atypical of the score, but really it's quite varied. I mean, you can probably find, say, the opening theme music. In fact, we might even put the video on YouTube if we can find it on YouTube. We might upload it with this.
I can upload it because I own it, so technically I'm allowed to.
And it looks it sounds great.
It's a great opening and ending.
The ending theme as well is really good.
Yeah, it's a shame because I think the full songs, which are about 4.5 minutes long, are much better than the 1.5 abridged versions, but that's normally the case.
I mean, anything else to say on the series in general?
In general, I think the plot is probably the strongest point of it, in my opinion. But the characters kind of let it down to some extent. Because a lot of the characters aren't explored very well. Like, if you look at Ku...
yes, there are.
The rest of them.
It centers around the two main characters, Raka and her kind
Reki.
of mentor-type character called Reki. And then there are various other... There are 3 or 4 other Haibane who live in... what's the place called?
Oldhome.
Oldhome, where they live.
Nemu's kind of explored as well, but then you... Hikari and that, they really don't have a backstory.
That's true.
I mean, they're just
they're extra characters. You sort of get some comic relief.
They're nice. They're good, but it's...
We'll see, because the first few episodes kind of explore those characters.
But it's only their kind of current life, not their past, which I think is a bit sad. Because I'd really like to... I mean, it may just be the anime, because I haven't read the original source material, because I can't find it anywhere. It's just impossible to find. If anybody does find it and listening to this, please tell me. I need it. Like, honestly.
I mean, I kind of agree with you. Like I said, it's very slow moving in the beginning. I was kind of... I mean, because I was so curious to find out what is going on, what are Haibane, explain the mythology to me, and the first half dozen episodes really don't do that at all.
Yeah. It kind of explains what they are now, not where they came from.
I do recommend this series. You have to stick with it, I think. I wouldn't recommend watching it in a marathon. Watch an episode, come back to it later.
Yeah, maybe.
Just because it is...
Well, watch it over, technically it would have come out 1 episode a week.
Yeah.
On TV, I think.
And if you can get your hands on the DVD, I'd definitely recommend watching it. Stick with it.
Yep.
Again, it doesn't really have... Again, I need a better way of saying, like, anime weirdness. Like, what you think of when you think of anime. It doesn't necessarily have this.
It's quite a
mature series, I think.
Yeah, especially the ending themes. Like, the themes that come in after the halfway point kind of thing are really
Yes.
quite very adult.
Kind of the journey that specifically again that Raka and
Reki
Reki
take,
go
yeah.
through is really quite emotional. Certainly in the last few episodes, I found myself getting quite,
I mean, I've seen it so many times. I really didn't.
You're really manly now. But
I'm manly.
I admit I got a little choked up.
I think the first time or two, I think was quite.
It's definitely you get invested in these characters by the end.
Definitely, yeah.
Specifically those two.
The two men, yeah.
I think that's probably about all I have to say. Just highly recommended. Anything else?
I was going to say something. Once again, I've forgotten. I suppose that's all then. We'll just ignore me being an idiot. Yeah, watch it. It's great. Try to get your hands on it. Go out of your way, almost.
Yeah, I would say so.
Because it's certainly worth it.
And do stick with it. Because, like I said, you might not like the beginning, but I really grew on me. So go with it.
Get it.